We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, Jabo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Like life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. Now, most people are excited that it's Friday. You are, right, Jabo?
Yeah, I like Fridays.
But not everyone likes Friday.
Who doesn't like Fridays?
Why do work weeks have to end? All I want to do is be with my cool work friends.
I feel that.
Weekends are not fun for me. Tell my boss I work for free. 'Cause 9 to 5 feels like a half day. Alarm clocks make me yell hooray. But then the week is over and I feel so sad on Friday. Please don't make me go home. I'll stay here alone. Don't make me go home. I'm so in the zone. Don't make me go home. Yeah.
That's it.
What I'm trying to say is I can't stand Friday.
So if you're one of these people who really loves your job, I'm sorry for what day it is.
Who was that?
That's my friend Damien.
Okay, Damien, I hear you.
He's getting in his feelings.
Yeah, all up in your feelings.
He loves his job. I mean, I could sort of relate to that, right? I mean, we love our job.
Of course.
You never want to go home, Jabo.
No, I like going home too. I like
You
both.
do?
Yeah.
Okay, it is nice to take a little break every once in a while. Remember yesterday we were talking about that new motion sickness feature that's on the iPhone?
Yeah.
And somehow we got into the discussion of who drives and who drives better, you or your husband or vice versa.
Right.
And we've got Danny on the phone. Hey, Danny, in Chenoa, Illinois.
So if I ever were to drive, my husband barely lets me drive anyway. He won't fall asleep because he doesn't trust my driving. He has to stay awake. He has to either, if he's on his phone doing anything, he's still like looking up, making sure I'm not doing something stupid. I'm not a terrible driver, I promise, but he just doesn't trust me driving.
Every
No,
once in a
exactly.
while, when I'm driving and my husband Archie's in the passenger seat, I can see him braking, and I'll look over and I'm like, I got it, you're fine. He's like, I don't know, you kind of waited a little too long.
Invisible braking. Hey,
Yes.
Danny, let me ask you about something else. What is the most exciting part of your life right now?
My children.
Why are they so exciting?
Because they're involved in so many things. I've got 3 children. One's about to start high school. One's in baseball. Then one's in cheerleading. And I'm running, and we're always doing something with them.
Wow, that's a great perspective you have. I would have a hard time constantly running around. And when I do have to run around for whatever it may be, I've got to shift my perspective because I can lean towards being annoyed by all the things to do, but I know it's so important for them. And I know that I have to shift my attitude on that. So you've got it figured out.
It's not easy because I also work for the school, so it's a lot. And then I'm in charge of certain organizations, and I'm constantly running. But
How do you combat that? Because I think all of us can feel like that in different seasons of our life
Right.
where it feels like it just doesn't stop. Is it ever going to slow down? Do you force slowdowns? How do you handle all that?
Well, it varies. So right now, being the end of the school year, I'm running even more than normal because I'm helping cover shifts when people need help, and I see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm almost there.
Okay, so you'll get a
But,
little break over the summer.
Right, but even then I have to deal with my own children in the summer. So
Right.
there's that.
Yes.
But I know how to discipline my own kids. I can deal with my own kids. But no, I try and force myself every now and then, especially weekends when my husband's home to help. I'm like, nope, it's mommy me time. Leave me alone. Just Go away.
Drive somewhere.
Right.
But
Yeah,
hold on.
like, you see that other parent laying there on the couch? That's another parent.
Right.
He's not just another person laying there. So.
Don't walk past them to then come ask me for water. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ask your pops.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, can you do this, Mom? No, there's another parent over there.
That's funny. Hey, do you, because I know you're joking, I think, but do you really love your husband and you like hanging out with him?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, this Sunday is our 12-year anniversary. And we've been together for over 14 years. So.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That is awesome. Isn't it great to
Thank
be
you.
in love with someone and like really want to spend time with them?
Yes, especially our dynamic is definitely, it's unique. We do a lot of banter, but it's definitely, we know we love each other. We would do anything for each other. So
That's wonderful.
we would always be there for each other. We always are. He's been going through some stuff lately, and I'm been there the whole time to hold his hand, make sure everything's good.
That's wonderful. Well, Danny, thank you for sharing all that with us, and thank you for listening to our show.
Oh, every day. Try and make sure on the bus and when I get on the bus and everything.
That's amazing.
I've been listening for a long time, and then when you guys came on, and I was like, yes, this is awesome.
That is awesome news. Well, it's very encouraging to us to hear that you keep listening, so thank you and tell your friends, okay?
All right, thanks.
Have a great one, Danny.
Thanks for
You
calling.
too.
Bye.
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 There's a movie you've probably heard is coming out today many, many times, especially over the last few weeks. They've been hitting it hard. It's called If, and it stands for Imaginary Friend.
Right.
And the concept is that a bunch of these people who had imaginary friends as kids are seeing them again in current day as adults. And they're all like weird creatures, purple dinosaurs, that type of stuff.
Yeah, the one that Steve Carell plays is this fuzzy purple monster.
So Kenny hit the streets, asked some questions about this.
Did either of you guys have an imaginary friend growing up?
I definitely did growing up.
Do you remember its name?
Oh my gosh. I think it was something human. It was like Ella or something crazy.
What memories do you have of your imaginary friend? Did you guys get in any trouble? Any stories you can share?
A couple of the times where I would get in trouble, I would definitely blame it on my imaginary friend, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, me and my imaginary friend, we just kind of played together. Well, I guess I was by myself.
Yeah, you were.
We played together like
You were
Polly
together.
Pockets and Barbies and stuff. So I would just pretend like I was playing with somebody else. Kind of sad.
I never had that.
Yeah, it does sound kind of sad.
What about guys who have imaginary girlfriends?
Well, I think we all have one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm joking. Imaginary girlfriends are not the move. Get a real girlfriend.
Yeah, I knew a kid who had an imaginary girlfriend, but we didn't know it at the time, and then he had to admit it. It was almost like a press conference to the school. I made her up. She's not real. And I felt bad. I was like, man, poor guy.
I've heard the long-time joke of people saying they have a girlfriend from Canada if they live in the United States. No, my girlfriend, she lives in Canada.
And people in Canada are like, no, my girlfriend lives in the U.S.
Did you have an imaginary friend growing up?
No, I didn't.
No?
No, I wouldn't say no.
Why do you giggle when I ask you that question? A lot of people have imaginary friends.
No, I don't know. It's just like a cool idea, I guess. I didn't.
So quick to cover up like potentially offending someone.
Yeah, don't make him feel bad. He's actually normal to not have an imaginary friend. What?
Everyone's so on guard. Oh, no. Some of my best friends are... Wait, no, I don't have an imaginary friend. No, you know what I'm saying.
I didn't personally have one. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not asking you to lie or anything like that.
No, of course.
Did you have an imaginary friend growing up?
No, my sister did.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about that.
His name was Godolph, and she was very concerned about him all the time, and he was always there, I guess. She would get really upset when my mom would say he wasn't real and stuff like that.
What did you think about all of it?
I guess I believed her. I don't know. She sounded pretty sure about it, so it made sense to me.
Yeah, I think there is this interesting boundary where you start to go, well, what's going on there?
I want to know what Gaddafi looks like. Since she's
Yeah.
so passionate about him.
Yeah, I always take my kids seriously if they were ever to say anything. Like, well, what do you mean you see something? 'Cause I do think sometimes, with the spiritual stuff, you might be seeing something.
Right.
And there's a way to get rid of that. Yeah.
Well, like when kids play with toys, they imagine the toys have personalities. They imagine what they would say. I don't see the difference if they're not playing with a toy and it's just something they're completely imagining. Did this imaginary friend ever get your sister in trouble? Ever have any bad ideas?
She said he liked when she would sleep outside on the trampoline.
Huh.
So she would sleep out there a lot.
See, that's where I'm thinking. I
Yeah,
don't
then
know.
I'm like, I don't know, sis.
What is that? What are we seeing there? Maybe we want to take that a little more seriously.
So
Yeah.
when your mom or dad were like, you can't sleep out on the trampoline,
She would blame it on him.
that's not a
yeah.
good idea.
Yeah.
Yep, say, go away in the name of Jesus. That's what I would do.
Did you ever have an imaginary friend growing up?
No, but I had an imaginary family that I told my parents I would go hang out with if they wouldn't give me soda.
How did that work out?
It didn't really work out. Nah, didn't get me any extra soda or anything.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to get extra soda when you're a kid. This is the TJ Show. You're seeing the movie this weekend?
Yeah, I plan to see it with my girlfriend.
Hi, everybody. This is Adriana Trajani. I'm the host of You Are What You Read, a podcast about the books that built our souls. I have the privilege of interviewing luminaries of our times about the books that shaped them from childhood until now. Don't miss it. We get everybody from Sarah Jessica Parker to Kristen Hanna to Jhumpa Lahiri, Susie Essman, Rainn Wilson, Amor Tolls. You name it, they come, they talk, they share. You can join us on Instagram for more behind-the-scenes content and giveaways at You Are What You Read Podcast and at Adriana Trajani. New episodes of You Are What You Read drop every Tuesday on Apple, Spotify, or any major streaming platform wherever you listen to your podcasts.
I'm Erica, 1/3 of the podcast Books and Betches, a comedy book podcast where we swear, spoil, and we talk about...
Whoa, you cannot say that in this.
What do you mean? That's like our slogan. It's our gimmick.
It is, but just say we're a very funny adult book podcast. How about we just give some examples of things we talk about?
Well, there's a lot of chaos.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have...
No. We talk about books, but we're not your AP Lit class.
I definitely hit on the major points.
You absolutely did not.
She did.
You talked
Just
about...
not in the order you thought she would.
You talked so slowly about one thing.
A lot of sidebar conversations.
Are you denying the existence of chupacabras?
You know, Erica, yes, I am.
And we don't always get the facts right.
Epilogues don't belong in books. Call it chapter 1.
That's a prologue.
The second I see...
That's a prologue.
Oh, I'm talking about prologues.
You can listen to new episodes of the Books and Betches podcast every Tuesday morning, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Bye-bye.
This is the TJ Show. J-Bo, did you ever do babysitting growing up?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, maybe you can help me with this. I think I know what I have to do, but I want to make sure.
Alrighty.
Obviously, if you're a parent, you know that if you've got a trustworthy babysitter, that is like the greatest thing.
Oh, that's gold.
Oh, and I'm so grateful. We've got multiple trustworthy babysitters that we just trust to be in our house with our kids, and that gives us some freedom. You know, I'm using one tonight.
Good for you.
And there's one in particular who's a real standout superstar. I mean,
All
the
right.
kids get super excited when she comes over. And you know, if you're a babysitter and you've got bags of tricks where you come over and it's like, all right, we're painting nails today. And the kids start screaming.
Yeah.
They're so excited. They don't even notice that my wife Jess and me are leaving.
Yeah, they're not fazed by it.
Oh, it's wonderful. Freedom. But anyway, I get an email and I'm reading through this and it's, hi, it's, your favorite babysitter name.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking to further my education and I'd like to take this class and I'd like any donation, anything that you, and I'm like, ooh, yeah. I mean, we pay her to babysit.
Wow.
But I'm pretty sure this is the babysitter tax. Like, I can't say no to this request because anything to jostle or mess with this good thing we have would be a bad move for our family.
Mm-hmm.
So when I calculate how much we pay her, which I think is a pretty reasonable rate.
Babysitters nowadays, man, are expensive. When I was babysitting, bro, like $2 an hour. That was I was
$2
taken advantage of.
Back when there were way more trustworthy babysitters.
That's what it was.
And now there are very few, And so you got to get top dollar. And listen, if you can prove that you're trustworthy through a great job, parents will pay.
Mm-hmm.
They will cough it up. And if those parents don't pay, you better believe the parents across the street, they will pay. It's become a business.
Oh, yeah.
But as a babysitter and as someone who made some dough doing that for a lot of years, I have no choice but to pay the babysitter tax, right?
Yeah, you do. Unless the class interferes with when she can babysit your kids, then maybe you sabotage and not give. You know what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't. Like everything lines up. I've got to pay.
She wants to further enhance her education. You have to admire that. I admire somebody who's like, I want to be better at something. I'm taking a course for it. That's what she wants to do.
Yeah, but I'm like, how smart is this girl? How does she know that she's got the parents backed into a corner? And how many parents is it? Like, is she raising thousands of dollars?
I don't know. She knows people like her.
I want to ask her. I'm like, yo, how much are you raising
How
here?
are you doing
And are
this?
you really using the money for a class? Are you going out to party? What are you doing?
Let me see your school books.
I think she's got you over the barrel, TJ.
She does.
I mean, I think the next email you're going to get, and this is a test. If you give her this donation, the next email is, my rates have gone up.
If I don't give the money.
Oh, I mean, even if you do, now she'll know that she can get away with it.
That I've got the cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe the rates will go up because no one is willing to donate. So now she has to increase her prices so that she has to pay for her classes.
Oh, that's a very good point, too. Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
You don't want that.
Yikes. Yes, Producer Heather, are you a babysitter? Are you trustworthy? And what's your rate?
I mean, I can babysit your kids. Trustworthy, I don't know.
Wait, would you want to babysit my kids?
Want?
How much you
maybe
paying?
for the right price, maybe. I don't know.
What would your price be, seriously? Like, if I needed a favor and, like, last minute, what would you charge?
I mean, last minute, I'd probably just do it. Honestly, yeah.
Because, yeah, it would probably complicate it if you charged me.
Yeah, it'd be weird. I'd watch your dogs, no problem.
No
for sure.
way.
Yeah.
Producer Heather, we got to talk about negotiation. What did you? I just do it for free. Last minute, cancel all my plans, inconvenience in my life, but I'll do it for free?
What would be your move? Like, what would you do to keep the kids busy?
I don't know. Probably just prop them in front of a television.
Yeah, that'd be the easiest thing to do. Okay, good. Well, all right, well, at least now I know. This is the TJ Show. You babysitters, you're getting clever. J-Bo, you care a lot about other people's feelings. I see that.
Yes, I do.
Well, Kenny approached me about something, and I'm just confused about this. Like, do you want me to change the words I'm saying?
No, I just thought you should know.
Apparently, I've been saying something that, I don't know if the word is offensive to Kenny, but now I'm like second guessing the what. So what do you want me to do? Just tell me what you want me to do.
It brings back some memories for me, but you often use the term slow boil. Like, it's a slow boil to the end of the world, the robot takeover.
I've heard him say that, yeah.
Here's an example of what Kenny's talking about. Just seems like a slow boil, but actually it's a very fast boil. It's happening very quickly. So that's one example. Are we slow boiling to a point where we can't communicate on our own anymore? So, okay, there's another example.
So AI kind of gets you a little testy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a proper application of what I'm trying to describe there. So
specifically, just the term slow boil.
What's wrong with the term slow boil?
Well, my last name is O'Boyle.
Okay.
So slow boil, O'Boyle. I can't help but hear my name when you say that, and it brings back memories of when I played high school baseball. We had this really long left field. There was no fence, but if you ever hit the ball over the left fielder's head, everybody on my team got an inside the park home run. I did it twice in my high school baseball career and got held up at third base, and my teammates would call me slow boil.
So you were a slow runner.
I was slow boil to them.
And it used to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I mean...
So when I say that, it brings you back to that time.
I never had a home run in high school because I couldn't make it around the bases in time. Everybody
Kenny,
else did.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, it is. I mean, very
For
clearly.
real. That's not a problem that TJ has to take on. You're going to have to take care of that yourself.
I just wanted to bring it up. You know, slow burn is a great thing.
Things do not revolve around you, Kenny. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't bring up when something...
Because he's not...
I'm not asking him to change. I'm just telling my friend, hey, man, when you say this... it brings back some
But
rough
he's
memories
not even
for me.
saying it. It's one thing if he knew the story from the beginning, and then he would keep using that term around you just to kind of make you feel uncomfortable. But like, it's a word you use in conversation. He can't just stop. He can't just change that because you decide it brings you back.
Does the make you feel a little weird?
No, I'm not accusing TJ of doing this on purpose
I
or
know.
maliciously. I'm just saying, hey, friend, my name's O'Boyle. You say slow boil often. Those two examples from last week alone.
Well, since you brought it up, you just said friend. I didn't have a lot of friends in high school.
Oh, okay.
And that brings back some bad memories. So stop.
Well, I'll keep that in mind going
don't
forward,
say
TJ.
the word friend, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
I think both of y'all need some counseling. BetterHelp is a great source.
You know, but this is why we do talk about, like, BetterHelp is a sponsor of our show. And, you know, Kenny, not that you've been in therapy before, right?
Sure.
I mean, sometimes there are these things that sort of go a certain way in our brain, and we do have to talk about rewiring the way we think. I mean, maybe this is not keeping you up at night.
No, it's not keeping me up at night. But again, I thought with my good buddy, I won't say that other word,
Thank you,
that
Kenneth.
I could share my feelings with you,
No,
TJ.
I
That's
appreciate
all
it.
I was doing.
I feel like the word buddy is very demeaning. So maybe that shouldn't be used
All right,
either.
pal, I will never say that
Pal
word.
also sounds very demeaning to me.
Pal.
Dismissive, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that feeling.
That's true. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't say a word.
Yeah, I'm just going to shut up.
Sometimes
Turn my mic off.
People do say things that can be offensive and they mean it in a malicious way. And then there are times where people say something and it's meant to help you, but because you're triggered by past things, that what they're saying offends you. So it's either they're offensive or you're just being triggered. You got to figure that out.
It's a trigger word for me.
All right, slow boy.
And you got to figure that out.
Listen, don't get mad at me for delivering the bad news. I'm telling you about this because it's making headlines and people are freaking out about it. And it's probably capable of causing some fights. And you didn't do anything to deserve this. And this is like some of the big fears of technology starting to well up now in our reality. Listen to how freaky this is. Gotta hand it to you if you don't have an iPhone. We don't normally say that. So there's a Reddit thread that was started, and some iPhone and iPad users are seeing old, permanently deleted photos show up among their new photos in their phone. This is a nightmare come to life because when you permanently delete something, you assume it's gone for good. You want to trust the technology. Bye-bye. That's not apparently what's happening. Evidently, we take a photo and it goes somewhere and it's there, and now starting to repopulate into people's photo stream or whatever they've got on their phone. This happened to Kenny firsthand. Explain how you discovered this.
Yeah, well, Heather was asking me for a picture of my mom for our newsletter for Mother's Day. This was like a week or two ago. And I'm scrolling back in my phone, and all of a sudden I start seeing pictures of me and my ex-girlfriend that I know I deleted off my phone.
Yeah. Imagine like you're scrolling through with your girlfriend now.
She knows my passcode. She can go into my phone.
And even if maybe she didn't bring it up, could she think, oh, why did Kenny keep these photos?
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But, and that's like the least of your worries. Think about all the photos that have been deleted. All of them.
Right.
There's one user who said that they were in conversation with their boyfriend and wanted to send a picture, saw that the latest pictures on her phone were material that were sent years ago, and they were not safe for work, if you know what I mean. Permanently deleted years ago, now magically back. She couldn't believe it. I checked my iPad. It also appeared old artwork she had done years ago that she had deleted were there. She said she got very uncomfortable. Anyone else have this issue? So she's asking, and other people are saying, yes, this is happening to me. Same here. I have 4 pics from 2010. They keep reappearing, and I have deleted them repeatedly.
Now, this is happening to users that allow their phone to update automatically to the 17.5 iOS.
Mm-hmm.
I have turned that feature off on my phone.
Well, good move.
I wait. I want to be the one to approve the update.
Yeah, wait a couple days, let them iron these things out.
Yeah, seriously.
But it's pretty unsettling because you want to be able to trust our technology to delete the stuff that we want to delete. But it goes back to, I know it sounds like conspiracy. Everything you put in writing, everything you put on your phone is out there somewhere, right? That we've heard that. And no, that's not the case. Well, I don't know. It might be.
Looks like it.
Well, there was a line from the movie The Social Network. The internet isn't written in pencil, it's written in ink.
Yeah.
Meaning it is
Great
permanent.
line.
It's out there forever.
It's a very good reminder. Somebody told me a long time ago, don't put anything in writing that you wouldn't want everyone to read.
And The Social Dilemma, that is a great documentary about how we are just pawns when it comes to social media. It's awesome. I recommend you watch it.
Settling times. This is the TJ Show.
Ever notice that how you feel affects your food choices, and that what you eat affects how you feel throughout the day? Well, researchers noticed it too, and now there's cutting-edge science about how food affects our emotional well-being. I'm food and science journalist Mary Beth Albright, and in my weekly podcast, Eat, You'll Feel Better, I look at practical, realistic ways to put the science of eating for emotional well-being into action. And, this is important, without lapsing into negative diet culture messages that can really ruin anyone's emotional well-being. We talk about things like how the food in your gut sends messages directly to your brain. And we also celebrate something that I personally find often missing from food health news, and that's leaning into pleasure. Because food is delicious. And it's not just about what we eat. Emotional well-being is also about how we eat. So join me every week on Eat You'll Feel Better, where we use science to improve mood through food.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds a whole lot different around here. Kenny reads through every single story he can find on the planet, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. What's happening today, Kenny?
Would you ever expect to go to a taco stand that has a Michelin star rating?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
I can tell you why.
Why?
I've had some amazing tacos from the tiniest, unexpected places because this is what they do. They're passionate about it and they know how to make a great taco. I want to go to the stand first before the big chains sometimes.
Well, you're onto something then, TJ, because the first ever taco stand has received a Michelin star. It's called Tacos El Califa de Leon from chef Arturo Rivera Martinez. This is a 10-foot by 10-foot taco stand in Mexico City.
I love that.
Awesome. Good for him.
J-Bo, let's go. On a plane today.
I'm down. Yeah.
You're a foodie just like me.
Yeah, I'll travel for food for sure.
You know, when you get a Michelin star, they give you this big, thick, white chef's jacket, but Arturo refused to put it on because it's too dang hot in that taco stand.
Great.
He says it's the meat. He said it gets very hot in the stand. It's the heat that makes the meat, and the heat is intense. And he says the secret is the simplicity of their taco. It only has a tortilla, red or green sauce, and that's it. It's the quality of the meat.
Hold on, that sauce is something special. Come
Yeah.
on.
And that seasoning on the meat, let's go.
The sauce can make a dish. You know, I eat, and I don't know much about that business, but what I do know is you take some jalapenos and tomatillos and you blend them together. Oh my goodness, you could put that on anything and it makes it better. Everything is better because of that spice.
You know, he's a unique Michelin starred chef too. He was asked, what do you think, what beverage goes best with your tacos? And he answered, I like a Coke. Coke.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good trick.
Coke with spiciness? Oh,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
get
nice.
much better than that.
The
Kenny.
tacos are expensive by Mexico standards, but $5 is what they go for.
Sounds wonderful. What else do you have, Kenny?
New York City has a rat problem. We've known that for many years, so much so that they have a full-time government position known as the Rat Czar, whose sole job is to manage the rats
Have you ever seen
in New York City.
Have you ever seen the rat gym in New York City?
There's a rat gym?
Yeah, these rats, they line up and they have bench pressers and spotters. They're the strongest little creatures. They're more like raccoons than rats, but they are rats. Very strong, very impressive actually.
Well, this is a particular issue in Central Park, and they've done something to hopefully help with that. Apparently, people like to take their pizza, New York City famous for their pizza, and eat it in Central Park. Sounds like a good idea. The problem is the trash bins are circular, and you can't fit the pizza box in the trash bin, and that would attract a lot of rats. So they've installed these new specially designed recycling bins that can fit the pizza box, and they're hoping that'll help the issue.
You know what? That's just people's laziness. Fold the box in half. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me?
That or you can rip it up.
Yeah, dude, you don't want to do the extra effort, so
Yeah.
you put it next to the trash can.
Yeah, these bins were installed just a day after the mayor, Eric Adams, announced the first National Urban Rat Summit scheduled for September to address the best practices on rodent mitigation.
You're having conferences now for rats?
I
It's
know.
serious.
Yeah, I would love to get into a rat's head and find out, like, how honored are they that they've got conferences in the biggest city in the world about their little stuff.
All this money is being allocated to prevent them from running the place.
Yeah, like you could see like a rat mobster come in and be like, just give us the pizza crust. That's all we want.
We're not asking for a lot.
Yeah, come on, man. We'll stay out of your hair. You feed us.
The mayor said the best way to defeat our enemy is to know our enemy.
Kenny, what else do you have?
TJ, have you ever been to Las Vegas?
I have.
Do you know the Mirage?
I know of it.
Yeah, it's an iconic hotel and casino. It's been there for 34 years. It's known for its volcano, which was actually the first Vegas sidewalk attraction, and then the Mirage had its fountains, and there are several of them now.
Oh, yeah, it's the fountain one.
No, this one's the volcano.
Oh, the volcano, okay.
Yeah, so I am reporting here that it's going to be closing after 34 years in business, starting on July 17th.
That seems to be a trend where there are casinos, and maybe I'm completely off on this, but it seems like once these casinos get a little bit too old, they just shut them down, and either someone starts from scratch, they build a brand new one. It seems to be this constant cycle.
Or they just renovate because it's been around for 34 years?
Yeah.
Been on for a long time.
Maybe they'll redo it and it'll pop up with a different owner.
Well, yeah, exactly. And as a matter of fact, it already has a new owner. So the original owner was Steve Wynn. He sold it to MGM in 2000. And in 2022, they sold it to Hard Rock International. So they are going to go through this 3-year renovation and literally wipe any sign marking of the Mirage or its tropical theme, and it will become a new Hard Rock hotel and casino in Las Vegas.
Okay. I always like the Hard Rock. Those are fun.
And they have a hotel and casino in Florida that is shaped like a guitar.
I've been there.
This one's going to be
too. I've been
the
there
same
too.
thing. It's going to have a guitar tower.
Nice.
So that's going to open up in 2027, but as of July 17th, the Mirage will be no more.
A 70-year-old man started flirting with me at that casino, by the way.
Really?
Yep.
Well, someone finds you attractive.
Well, yeah, that's what I found out that day.
Yeah, I'd be complimented.
Yep, and I went to my room alone, just for the record. Kenny, what else do you have?
When Steve Cohen bought the Mets a couple of years ago, fans like myself rejoiced. Finally, this team might spend some money and bring some good players to the Big Apple. And Cohen has indeed spent a lot of money, but largely his era has been disappointing. The Mets are 20-23 so far this season. And there's plenty of games left to be played, but it appears Steve Cohen may already be looking to next year. He apparently posted, then deleted a tweet that said, "All in the future, not much we can do until the trade deadline."
Ooh, that's got to make the team feel great, huh?
I'm sure it does.
That's
The
an uplifter.
season just started, too.
Yeah.
I know there's more than 100 games left in the season. They're tied for third place in the NL East. I mean, there's still possibility. He backtracked. So, of course, he deleted the thing. He told SNY, which is local sports in New York City, that he meant to send that as a direct message instead of a tweet.
Oh,
and he
nice.
still has his sights set on this season's postseason.
Just because you meant to send that as a direct message and not a tweet doesn't mean that those feelings no longer exist, right?
Yeah.
Social media is ruining marriages and careers. You better watch out.
Oh, yeah, the feelings have been recorded.
Uh-huh.
What else do you have, Kenny?
Wayfair will be opening its first physical large format store next week in Wilmette, Illinois, a suburb of North Chicago.
Good news or bad news?
I think it's good news for them. Wayfair, of course, the online furniture company, peaked at like $14 billion in revenue in 2020 during the pandemic when people were buying a lot of office furniture for their home, or since they were stuck at home, they were upgrading their furniture. And they've seen revenue go down. And last year, according to census data, nearly 85% of retail purchases happened in person. And when you think about furniture, if you're buying a bed or a couch, you want to try the bed or the couch before you buy it, right? So I think they're hopping on this bandwagon. At the same time, the CEO is wary of opening up too many physical stores too quickly. So this is the first. We'll see how many they actually open.
Good for them.
I always
Hope
wonder-
it works out.
I always wonder when companies do that, like, we're making more money than everyone. Let's change what we're doing.
Right.
It's like, really? All right, well, good luck with that.
Again, last year, over the last couple of years, they've seen not big drops in revenue, but drops in revenue nonetheless. So they're going to try this out.
I wonder if when you have 14 billion as your drop, if it's really a bad day at the office.
21 billion.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I would think, well, if we're in the billions, things are pretty good. Kenny, what else do you have?
We talked recently about the Apple iPad ad that featured a bunch of, let's call them older form tools for creativity being crushed by a hydraulic press.
Yeah, like trumpets and guitars.
Yeah, paint, brushes, and paint. And when the press lifted, it showed the brand new iPad.
Right, to insinuate, or at least the way I took it was, we don't need all these ancient tools to create art. All you need is a computer.
Or the way I took it, where all these things can be found in this iPad and you can have your creativity grow from there.
Also true.
Yeah, well, to TJ's point, a lot of people felt your way, and they got backlash for this to the point where Apple even apologized. Well, now Samsung has released a new ad. It shows a woman that appears to be in the ruins of the Apple hydraulic press scene. She picks up a beat-up guitar from a pile of rubble and begins to play it, looking at sheet music on a Samsung Galaxy tablet.
Oh, that's great.
At the end of the ad, the words "creativity can never be crushed" appear on the screen. They shared this ad on X, and in the caption it says, "We would never crush your creativity."
Oh, that's so fun.
Uncrushed.
I love great marketing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. When it's subtle but not really, I love it.
Yep, they took the ball and ran with it.
Yeah,
Gotta respect that. Who's getting a Samsung?
I kind of want one.
Well, not me. No, I like my iPhone too much still. I know it's bad for me, but I love it. Kenny, what else do you have?
I want to tell you about this new pen pal program at a North Carolina high school. It's connecting senior citizens to seniors in high school. It's called Senior to Senior.
Oh.
Clever name.
Love to play on words.
You get that? That's good.
Teacher who came up with the idea said, I had students who previously had never really felt engaged in school, so to get excited about a project, I really wanted a way to recreate that for a. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
You shouldn't write one of these letters if you're planning on it.
No,
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, but essentially, she's excited that these seniors in high school have really taken to this, and they're finding so much value from the seniors that they're talking to.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime we can start treating senior citizens with the respect that they deserve, you will be blessed by that, because these are people who have walked the path before us. I mean, how silly is it, us trying to figure this out on our own?
Yeah.
How many people have fallen and stumbled and hit and just been taken out by obstacles they didn't need to if they just talked to someone like a senior?
Right. The conversations that you can have with these seniors, man, it can save you a lot of heartache and headache and frustration in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're seeing stories of these senior pen pals encouraging the high schoolers to pursue their goals and dreams and helping them make these decisions. As seniors in high school, they're thinking about college, their careers, and now they have, like you said, TJ, someone who's lived the life with the experience to be able to share with them. And after the whole semester of this program being a success, the students finally got a chance to meet their senior pen pals in person.
I love that story. That's so good. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
You know, today's a very interesting day in my family because 7 years ago to the day, my wife Jess and I were very surprised because we were about to have a little boy, and my wife was 9 months pregnant, and unfortunately we lost the baby because of a stillbirth. It was a cord accident, and it was a horrifying thing to go through. You know, I sometimes, or I guess I used to hesitate to bring this up because it's not like the most uplifting subject to talk about. But I bring it up every year because I know that there are people who are going through this, and it's one of those subjects that no one talks about because it's so depressing.
Right.
Yes, it was very dark for a period of time, but without question, there is life on the other side of these really tough things that happen to people, and we're standing here saying that, and we've lived that. My wife Jess is on the phone. Hey, Jess.
Hey, I thought we were calling to talk about cookies.
No, it wasn't about cookies. No, I know that came up yesterday. You baked cookies for Kenny. He fell asleep while eating them. He's going to go see a doctor because he was eating cookies in his sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
but I'm calling. Yeah, see, that probably.
She's like, "Huh?"
Yep. Okay. But Jess, you know, this is interesting because all these years later, this is still something that's very present in our life. And at the same time, life is very full. Like when I first heard the news that this is what was going on, I just thought, oh, so now we're just going to be sad people forever. And this is now going to define our every move. We're going to be the people who, when we hang out with J-Bo, we're just going to start crying in the middle of the conversation.
I'd be okay with that. I'd join you.
But that is not the reality that we're in. And I think what's interesting is being on the other side of going through what we went through, to be able to see that now, there's encouragement for anyone who may be going through any kind of tragedy.
Yeah, but I want to just say something that living wholeheartedly and moving forward with grief doesn't mean that you stop crying. Like actually this week, I was with all three of our girls at the dance studio where they take ballet, and we were in the waiting room, and this one mom just kind of like yelled across to me, "So you have 3 daughters, huh? Just daughters, no sons." And, you know, sometimes I just take the liberty to not be fully honest, and because I just don't feel like bringing it up. I don't feel like depressing the entire room. So I just said, "Yep, I have 3 daughters."
You're better than me. I would have been like, actually, ma'am,
well,
let me tell you.
Sometimes I do, but, you know, so it's like sometimes I just don't feel like getting into it. And it's not a lie to say I have 3 daughters. I do have 3 daughters.
Right.
But Charlie, our oldest, was there, and she said, "Wait a second." She was like, "You have a Luca. You do have a son." And then I said, "Yes, I do have a son. He died." And I said, that's why I actually wasn't going to bring it up, because I said, I didn't want this to happen, what's happening, because the whole room, it felt like they just looked at me just so sad. And I was like, yep, and he died, and we love him, and I'm raising 3 daughters. And there was nothing left to say, and I just felt my eyes prick with tears, and then I just tried to, like, pretend to do my daughter's hair. And I also am living wholeheartedly, and I'm like happy, and I have a full life. But you carry it with you, and there's some moments where it just still like pricks your heart, and that actually makes me feel grateful because it makes me feel like Luca, our son, is present with me, and I do feel connected to him.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that you always encourage your friends to do is you can just talk about it. And your best friends and even people who understand grief, they will just have these discussions with you or bring it up and the world won't come crashing down around you.
Yeah, and I think that something that I've read and that resonates is that we don't necessarily like grow and mature and learn just through having experiences. Like we grow and learn and mature through reflecting and processing through experiences. And so part of that is often talking about it, but not talking about it necessarily all the time with everyone, but with people that you feel like maybe a counselor, therapist, friend, whatever. But yeah, definitely talking about it is extremely helpful and healthy. And it's what I found in my life. It's amazing that it just gives me oxygen again. Like it allows me to feel like I can make it even if like the circumstances haven't changed. And I know some of you guys listening, and I know Jabo right now, like you are going through grief. I know you understand this.
Yeah, I'm trying not to cry.
Yeah, and what I've learned, because, I never shared any emotion whatsoever. And, being willing to go there is a blessing to the person going through something and also ourselves once we can go there. And so thank you, Jess, for always being willing to talk about it. And, I thought putting it out there, especially on this day, for some reason I feel like it's important, or maybe it's important to someone, and maybe I'll never know, but we just wanted to bring that up and share that.
And it is great to have those people in your life that can provide that space for you. Like just like you said, that it feels like oxygen, and that everyone can make that space for you, and that's fine. And sometimes you feel some kind of way when you talk to somebody about it and they don't handle it very well, or they're not ready to create that space with you. That's okay. Just find somebody else who is okay to create that space with you and reflect, and that helps you kind of move on and process. Just you and I have exchanged conversations via text since my dad has passed, and it's been 30 days at this point. So I appreciate this conversation.
Yeah, I think also, and Jib, I don't know if you resonate with this, but I remember in like the early days of after Luca died, and I mean like not even the weeks, but I mean months, that still felt like early days.
Yeah.
And we would sit down to dinner with people that we haven't seen since Luca died, and sometimes they would not mention it. They would not bring it up, and that felt to me suffocating. Like it felt like I wasn't allowed to fully come to the table and be myself, which is a grieving mom.
Right.
And then the people that I would sit down to the table with, and they would just say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I know what you're going through. Let me know if you want to talk about it." It felt like oxygen. Like it was then I could either talk about it, and I could, if I felt like, bringing it up, or I could just say, "Thank you for acknowledging the elephant in the middle of the room and allowing me to be myself." But the people that just ignored it, because I'm sure in their mind they thought, well, I don't want to remind her, when it's like, I never forgot
about it. You don't forget.
It's like always in the center of my mind.
Yeah.
So you're not reminding me, you're actually you're giving space for me to be myself. And if it's helpful for me to talk about it right now, then that's amazing for you to give me permission to do that.
Yeah. And Jess, you write so much about grief, and you can find Jess at jessicalatshaw.com, and you can get on her newsletter there, and she talks about all kinds of tough stuff. But it's really life-giving. And I'm laughing.
That's a part of life, right? It's part of the human experience.
Yeah. I'm laughing because Jess, she's just great at talking about really sad things. I don't know how else to put it. But
well, listen, it's not something I necessarily wanted to be great at.
No.
But I've just had to go through some sad things, and I realized that, like Jabo said, it is part of the human experience, and we can't really pretend that it's not helpful to anyone.
And you'll
pretend that it's not.
You'll get details about when Jess's book is coming out. That's probably this year. She's been writing a book for all these years about this experience, and it may be helpful to someone you know who's grieving, or if you're currently grieving yourself. So, Jess, thanks for popping on the radio with us.
Yeah, and let me know when you want to talk more about cookies, because I'm up for that.
Anytime. This is the TJ Show.